Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your host with the most, King Gio in the house. I want to say thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you have not subscribed to my channel, do so right now and hit that bell so to notify you when King Gio I've uploaded a video, and smash that like button. So today we're going to talk about, on this video, we're going to talk about a little bit about Officer Derek Chauvin's case and the state versus Derek Chauvin and what I think is going to happen. As I've studied law and I've seen how the justice is in the United States of America, we've seen from the beating that Rodney King got when those five officers beat Rodney King in Los Angeles, and they got no indictment, found not guilty. Where we see white officers in the United States killing black people, and they get away with everything. We saw George Zimmerman get away with his shooting of Trayvon Martin, right? And Triana Baylor and other people like that. And we see all these white officers getting away with everything. And no matter what happens, no matter if Black Lives Matter comes in and this group comes in, no one in the Senate has done anything. They haven't done anything from the Ronald Reagan era, since from where I can remember, all the way up to now. Donald Trump didn't do anything, Barack Obama didn't do anything, and Biden's not going to do anything. Nothing's going to be get done. But what I can tell you for this much, and I can attest to it, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I have a funny feeling that it's going to happen. Officer Chauvin is not going to get convicted of first degree murder, because to do first degree murder, you have to have the intent. You had to be convicted of first degree murder. You had to the intent to commit that murder. You planned it out. You did that. Second degree murder, that's going to be kind of hard to do. Third degree murder could be a possibility, but I don't think he's going to get convicted at all. I don't think he's going to get convicted. He's in Minneapolis. We remember what happened with Governor Gorbachev. Amy. When that officer did what he did, she didn't do anything about it. And I don't think, that anything is going to go about it this way, because the media, the Candace Owens of this all, and other people with Fox and Newsmax are portraying George Floyd, and they're looking at it like the officer said. I mean, the defense attorney is like, but George Floyd was this, or George Floyd was that. Or did you see the part where, I haven't seen the whole thing? I don't even think I watched even 2 minutes of it. But from what little bit I've seen, that the defense attorney was saying that Derek Chauvin was afraid of the crowd. There was maybe 5 or 6 people watching. That's a crowd. I'm talking about massive crowd that you say, even then, things could have been done differently. So you got Candace Owens, and let's talk about her. And Candace Owens saying that, and Newsmax and all that, and other people saying that he was in fentanyl, that he had this, he had that, and you have multiple, I guess one or two autopsy that says that that the fentanyl and all that was the one that killed him, was the knee to the neck that didn't allow him to breathe, and the stress that it put on his heart. Your heart is racing as it is with drugs. And it's pacing at an abnormal rate. And when you're putting that much pressure on the neck, there's not much, there's no breathing room. And the person is stressed out because the person got a knee. Something's obstructing that person from breathing. So the body goes into stress and goes to shock. So that's what basically killed him. To say that, and the report says that the fentanyl and the drugs that he was on didn't kill him. And you can see how he walked, cuffed, he walked from the store to another place handcuffed. He didn't resist. He didn't shove. He didn't do anything. None of that. The camera shows it, right? So I believe in my heart that this is going to go the wrong way, and this man is not going to get convicted, because there has been, if you look at the amount of officers being convicted, in any case, it's small. It really is. It's very small. So I don't think nothing's going to be different in this case. I think this is going to be found not guilty, or the jury's going to come back and say we can't make a decision. and it probably end up being a mistrial. Um, but don't get your hopes up high. And like I was saying before, so we have the Candace of the world, who's and I'm gonna make a story of Candace Owens. I got a nice little link that I received yesterday. Some good stuff on Candace, because this woman is anti-black. I can't believe, right? But anyway, so she, here she is saying that we're doing monuments on George Floyd, that we're parading George Floyd. We're not parading George Floyd. We're not making monuments of George Floyd because we want to make George Floyd because we're making him a hero. No, because he's far from a hero. He's maybe a hero to his daughter's eyes, which is great, right? But he's not a hero. He's not perfect. He did his thing. But regardless of what he did, there was no need for him to be a knee to be put on his neck for 9 minutes, close to 10. What he did in the past, I kind of said, well, they found a baggie, and that has nothing to do with whether they found a baggie or not, whether he was high or not. That has nothing to do with it. He was not resisting. He was doing nothing. So his past at that moment, for those 9 minutes, his past didn't mean anything, because Derek Chauvin didn't know his past. Derek Chauvin didn't know it. So even if he did know his past, that doesn't give him the right to put his name. And then the funny thing, not the funny thing, the sad thing is that he had officers next to him. He had 3 other officers more next to him. Any one of them could have said, yo, remove your knee from his neck. Don't do that. Put it somewhere else. He's not moving. He's not doing anything. So remove. But they all kept themselves. They all kept to themselves, and they didn't do anything. Then you have this thing where the officers get immunity. That's what they get away with a lot of things, because if you take away that immunity from these officers, they will talk. There are some great cops out there, don't get me wrong, but there are some others who are dirtbags, and those are the ones that you got to eliminate. This man had 27, I thought it was 17 or 16, but someone told me yesterday on Dr. Anastasia's show that he has 27 complaints. 27 complaints. How is this man still on the force? You get one complaint. You find out what that complaint is about, and you hand you that complaint. But 27? And this is what happens when you live in a white community, in a state that is all white. Because they attend to their own. And no officers, no sergeant is going to say, you got 27, I got to keep you at the force. I got to get your gun. After the second or third, I got to get your gun. Too many people. And he has a record where he shot his gun at people before. So he has this tendency to do these things, and he's still on the force. And he's not the only one. There are hundreds of other officers who are on the force just like him. That needs to be removed. These people took an oath to serve and to protect, but they're not doing that. They're not. So don't scream and say, oh, Black Lives Matter this and Black Lives Matter that. Oh, the riots. People comparing, Kamala Harris comparing the Black Lives Matter the Black Lives Matter protest to the riots that happened in January 6th. She said these people didn't do anything. That's not what that wasn't right. She's saying that Black Lives Matter protest was a riot. No, it's not. That was two complete things. If these people did what they did, they burned this down, they burned it because they are tired, people. These people are tired. The black community is tired of being abused. The black community is tired of being judged because of the color of the skin. When are we going to start living life and not look at a person because of the color of the skin? Because one black person did something wrong to you, the rest of them like that. Because one white person did something wrong to you, the whole entire race or something like that. No, that's not the way life is all about. That's not what life is. And and racism is it's not something that you're born with. Racism is something that you're taught. We can't teach you can't teach your kids that just because this person is different from you because of the color of their skin that they're inferior to you. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Okay? So how do we go as a society? But going back to Derek Chauvin, that he's going to get found not guilty. Watch, people. He's going to get found not guilty, and it's going to hurt our system. And I would hate to see what's going to happen to Minneapolis, but this is what's going to happen. I hope that he gets convicted, and I hope that he's not the only one that gets convicted. They all get convicted, and each and every officer that's out there that's doing the same thing as this dirtbag is doing gets convicted, gets caught, gets thrown in jail, and let whatever happens, because this has to stop. You cannot get officers immunity. The officers are not above the law. This is the funny thing though. You you can get handcuffed by an officer. The officer can beat the crap out of you, and they don't get charged. But you beat the crap out of the officer, watch you get charged. If you defend yourself, watch you get charged. The judge doesn't see. You go to in front of the judge, and you tell, and the judge asks you, "Well, what happens to you, King Gio? He hit me." He's not going to tell the officer, "Are we going to press charges on this officer?" No. Well, the judge is going to say, "Let's investigate this." No, he's not. He or she's not going to say that. Now, if you beat the cop up, what's going to happen? You get beat up by 10 other cops, and then you get a felony charge, a battery charge, whatever charge they want to get you with, because that's what they're going to do. You know, but they can get away with it. But when you defend yourself, that like officer's coming towards you, and officer just smacks you or punches you because they want to punch you, and you say, "You crazy?" and you swing back, so he could swing at me, but I can't swing at him. No, it doesn't work that way. And this is the society that we live in. And then you take it to court. The court sees the officer as an angel, as above the law, that he did no wrong. And that's not the way it goes, guys. So this is going to end in my book. I hope it's not, but this is going to end up in a mistrial, or it's going to end up in a not guilty verdict. Watch when I tell you this. I hope it doesn't happen, but this is my prediction. Peace.